a symbol of the Earth's inner power. They called the volcano Yamani, or Snow Mountain. We call it Lassen Peak. When explorers and scientists came to this place in the 1800s, they marveled at its beauty.
Views seen among these pinnacles and rocks are some of the most picturesque imaginable. A series of photographs would be treasures indeed. William Brewer, geologist, 1863.
Today, we too revel in the splendor of Lassen Volcanic National Park. Its majestic mountains and hushed forests, still lakes and buzzing meadows, graceful streams feeding wild waterfalls. Yet, as the Mida realized, there is something more to this landscape than its beauty. Beneath its tranquility, a hidden story is waiting to be told. In 1914, this story was caught for the first time on camera. On the afternoon of May 30th, Lassen Peak suddenly erupted. Several weeks after the first blast, Benjamin Franklin Loomis, a local businessman, captured an eruption in a historic series of photographs.
We saw huge columns of smoke ascending 500 feet above the mountain. The sight was fearfully grand. To say we were excited is putting it mildly. Benjamin Loomis, 1914.
These explosions were nothing compared to those a year later. On May 19th, 1915, a blast of steam sent hot rocks spilling over the northeast flank of Lassen Peak. The rocks melted the winter snow, forming a colossal mud flow that roared along for 12 miles. This mud dragged along trees and boulders and deposited them far downstream. Lassen Peak then fell silent until 3 days later.
The eruption came on gradually at first, getting larger and larger, until it finally broke out in a roar like thunder. Benjamin Loomis, 1915.
On May 22nd, a towering column of ash and gas blasted 30,000 feet into the air. A superheated avalanche of ash, pumice, rocks, and gas then raced down the mountain, mowing down an entire forest in its path. In a matter of days, Lassen Peak had given the area a breathtaking makeover. As stunning as this devastation was, it was only one of countless eruptions that have rocked this place. For these quiet mountains were all once volcanoes. Imagine if we could look out over this land, not just today, but over the past thousands, even millions of years. we would see a landscape that is always changing. Volcanic eruptions reshaped the land. Then, during long periods of calm that followed, life adapted to the new landscape.
The day wears on. The sun is warm and balmy. Silence broods over the peak. All is quiet here. So quiet that thought and imagination wander. William Brewer, 1863.
This hushed landscape is rich with volcanic features. Lassen Volcanic National Park is one of the few places on Earth to possess all 4 types of volcanoes. But how do we find them? How do we uncover their stories? We read the landscape. Look closely at this forested slope. Hidden beneath these trees lies a once powerful volcano we call a shield volcano. Prospect Peak used to look very different than it does today. Around 250,000 years ago, this volcano emerged through a series of eruptions. Its lava was so fluid that it flowed down the volcano's long sides, adding layer upon layer, building the land higher and higher, until the broad slopes we see today were formed. In time, life returned and covered up Prospect Peak's violent past. Another kind of volcano is easier to read, the cinder cone.
Volcanic cones rise sharp and steep, some with craters at their tops, into which we see circular hollows like the great nests of fabulous birds. William Brewer, 1863.
Lassen's cinder cone erupted in 1666. Lava shot out under tremendous pressure and shattered into millions of shreds of cinder and ash. The fragments then fanned out and fell, forming the unmistakable cone shape we see today. But that wasn't all. Lava also poured out from the base of the cone and created the dark, fantastic lava beds. When falling cinders touched down upon this hot lava, they changed color.